morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Wake Up Real Estate. Once again,
Brought to you by
just generic trail mix from Walmart. Generic
I'm running
great
out. I got mine more later.
trail mix from Walmart. Ryan's got to get his omega-3s and protein somehow or another. Anyway, it's Thursday, which means it's Tech Tip Thursday. It's September 14th. If you've missed any of the shows this week, we've been talking a lot about the buy before you sell mortgage program. And if you'd like more information about that or any of the special financing programs and options, etc., you can text BBYS. Honestly, you can text anything to 866-973-4009, and someone on our team will get back to you. But if you're interested in the buy before you sell program, Jordan introduced it Monday. We did a deeper dive yesterday. Go back and find those. You can just go to wakeup.realestate, look at the latest. There is a lead capture page. We are still pulling together additional resources, social graphics, etc., for you to use. And one more thing on the mortgage front, Ryan, before we get into the social post of the day. One of the buyer agents on my team emailed me this morning and say, hey, do you know anything about this 1% down conventional financing program? A friend of mine asked me about it. She said she saw something on social media, not from us. And I was like, yes, we've talked about that months ago at this point. But what it reminded me of is a couple of things. Number one, no matter how much you talk about something, not everyone hears it, not even your own team. Okay. And that's number one. And number two, I hadn't really talked about it for a long time. So we talked about it when it was originally introduced, but it's still available. So in fact, the top wholesale lender that we do business with at NEXA Mortgage has a 1% down conventional financing option where a buyer can get essentially up to $4,000 in grant money. Okay. So to get 1% down, they're going to be buying a lower priced property. But regardless of whatever, you could get 4%. I'm sorry, you can get up to $4,000 in grant money.
And you can market around this. More importantly, because you're
exactly that's so. Use it as a way to create more conversation opportunities, A, and B, you can text the number below if you want to discuss that. But C, for my buyer agent, I said, hey, would you like me to create some flyers or, whatever around it so that you can share with this client and others? And we haven't talked about that a lot, but if there is a program that you hear us talking about here that you would like, either some social graphics or flyers around, just email me. And one way or another, we'll get some things together for you. And we already have some on that particular program, the 1% down. And we're working on more for the buy before you sell program. All right, enough about that and mortgage programs. Ryan, I saw you had a cool graphic and using the red drawing capability, which always gets attention. What is the gist of this post?
Well, yeah, it's another one of the stat posts from the MLS. And I think as the market starts to crash here soon, which it will, and more people start listing their homes and inventory comes back on, it's going to be a good time to be a listing agent who's talking about the data as CNBC and all the media outlets kind of start to talk about what's really going on in the market. I'm voicing an opinion. These are not necessarily the opinion of real estate. But anyway, after that preface, I think I'm going to be doing more of these. And this post is original price to close price ratio, and just a little bit of analysis. And if you go into your MLS, you'll probably find that you'll see a similar number, and it's mostly just seasonal. I think you see this slump down. Mm-hmm. Where in the later part of 2022, it climbs throughout buying season, it levels off in the summer, and it seems to be going up again. But you can spin this to maybe say, hey, it's a good time to list, something like that. So,
and this is a static image post, but for those of you who are adventurous, screenshot this, Put it as the green screen behind you and actually talk about it.
Yeah.
Just like Ryan did. Here is, and tell them what this is. Tell them why you think it is and why it's important to them or relevant to them, depending on, if they're thinking about buying or selling or.
And I wouldn't be afraid to take a stance on where you think the market's going to go, whatever that stance is going to be. You might upset some people who don't agree, but the people who do agree are going to come to you, and they might be more likely to list with you because they agree with your thesis.
And Ryan said in there that he was sort of he was sharing an opinion there, and the reality is, different markets are going to. Yeah. So Central PA is a lot more conservative, and we don't see even though we have seen larger or greater than normal appreciation in the last few years, it's not as wild as some of the West Coast cities and areas, and therefore, just like back in 2010, 11, 12, we didn't see depreciation. There were years where it stayed, relatively flat, but we didn't have years where, in parts of California, you may see values go from, if you own a home that theoretically is worth 1.5 million today, you may lose, 100,000 in value. I don't know. Right. So the point is, all markets are different, unique, etc. And also not just that, but different price ranges react, totally differently. Right. So like in my market, if I did this graph here in my market, it would look wildly different if I did it from 200 to 500,000 versus 500,000 to $1 million versus $1 million plus. Like that graph would look a lot different in those different price brackets, and also would look different in different school districts, right? Different school districts are more popular than others, etc. Because I brought up the D word, depreciation, if you hear, being the knowledge broker, right, and understanding what's going on in your market, if you hear people talking about depreciation, oftentimes people link depreciation or couple that as the same thing as deceleration. Okay, what do I mean by that? Depreciation means literally properties are losing value. Deceleration means they're not appreciating at the same rate, right? So, and I'm in Bright MLS, and we get a weekly like market update from some one of the big wigs at Bright, and it's for the entire Mid-Atlantic area because Bright's a pretty big MLS coverage area. And she was sharing some of the recent stats, and one of the things that stood out for me is even though we've seen some crazy things happen with interest rates, and the average rate right now is as high as it's been in like 5 years or something like that. And I might even be off with that. It could be more than that. All of that said, home prices in the Mid-Atlantic are still like 6% higher than last year at this time, the average home price. So it's like, knowing that information, now the prior 12-month rolling, it might have been 11 or 12%, right? So appreciation is decelerating, but we're not depreciating. Okay.
Right. There's some nuance there. But the big thing, guys, is that we have all this data at our fingertips for free, and nobody leverages it.
Yeah.
You just go into your MLS and start playing around. In Stellar, I just click stats, and Bright, I'm sure you have something like that. And you could, every day of the week, go in here, segment a different area, get on a screencast like Josh said, talk about it, and really do some, really position yourself as take a stance on some position yourself as that person, and attract people to you from a content marketing perspective.
It's going to really resonate with the analytical type folks,
True.
Right? A, but B, even the non-analytical, you're still creating a sense that you're the market authority, that you know what's going on, even if their eyes glaze over and they have no idea what you're talking about. It still demonstrates to them that you're actively in the market, working the market. You know what's going on. You're checking out what's going on, and
if you're a pure listing agent, it's a little harder to create content because you either need to talk about the listings that are out there that you have mostly. You're not in the buyer's agent talking about listed properties and all that, or you can talk about what the market is doing and how it relates to that seller, and this is a great way to do it.
Yep. Totally.
All right, tech tips.
Tech tips, Ryan. You have a quick and easy one, and then I'm gonna pick up a little bit where we left off last week on a tech tip or something to consider as well. But Ryan, why don't you lead off here?
Mine is just a thanks.io feature, a little self-serving here, but it is a big one that comes up a lot. Basically, it took us a long time to figure this out, but the post office returns, in some cases, they're not consistent, but in a lot of cases, they return mail if the resident that you address to doesn't live there anymore.
Yeah.
And a lot of the data we use, in this industry might be a little outdated. People move.
Right.
So, right, the nature of what we're doing. So there's this new feature here. I'm just trying to get to it where I can show you it, where you can add or current resident to your mailers. And if you do that, sorry, let me get to the end. You'll see right before you process the order and thanks, you can append or current resident, and it should drastically increase the delivery rate based on what we've seen. So this wouldn't apply to if you're doing something really personal, like a thank you card. You don't want to say like Josh or current resident.
Yeah.
But if you're doing like an absentee mailer or something like that, maybe a bad example. If you're doing something more commercial,
you're just geofarming, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
right. You just, you could just do home, Mike Smith or geofarm. That's funny. I said Mike Smith and he's watching. I pulled that out of the ether as like a very common name. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
So you mentioned something in there that I'll piggyback off. This wasn't my tech tip, but you mentioned a thank you card. So I had a settlement earlier this week, and I sent a gift card this morning using thanks to them as a sort of a closing gift. I sent them $100 gift card to Target because it's a younger family, right? And I'm assuming that the mom likes Target. I mean, I think most moms like Target. So I sent them $100 gift card and just thanked them for the opportunity. Also, most of you probably do this, but I updated their address in my database, and I forgot to do this, but I'll do this after the show. I'm going to add them to my top 150 list in thanks, so that when I send out things like we sent, was it earlier? It was late last week. The top 150 postcard that we linked up with iList. So they'll get that kind of stuff moving forward.
Can I show this? Do you mind?
Yeah, I don't care.
Just show your gift card.
Yeah.
Very simple. You didn't overthink the design. You just picked one of the thank yous that we had in there.
Yep.
You didn't spend 4 hours trying to graphically design it with your picture and logo. I'm kidding, because a lot of people do that. Yeah. Well,
what I could have done is taken a picture of the house that I sold with them and put thank you over the top of it. In hindsight, I probably should have done that, but you know what? I didn't. So
I'm laughing right now, Juice. Juice, this is very funny.
Why?
We're both working a little too fast. I'm doing.
Oh my goodness! I've got a misspelling. You got to be kidding me.
Are you douching me? Stop douching me.
I keep making grammatical errors with things. This is already print and out the door. So
I know. Let me see. I don't think I can stop it. What time did you do it at?
No, it already went. It already went. Who cares?
Yeah, that's the attitude. That's a little tip itself, right?
Soledad.
Josh, you spelled your name wrong.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
But if they say anything, they never will. But if they do, you just blame the tech.
Right.
Or blame your system.
I don't know what happened. Soledad asked, "Is the QR code? Does the QR code lead them to iList? Not on this, Soledad. The QR code on this is one of the ways they can redeem the gift card in this. Now this is so when you hit send now, there are 6 different types of direct mail you can send. There are 2 sizes of postcard. There's windowed letters and windowless letters. There are thank you cards, and then there are gift cards. So this was a gift card. That was the one that I chose in this scenario. Now on this mailer, when they scan that takes them to the iList and the integration where they immediately see their seller dashboard, and I get notified.
You got 9 so far, so that's 5%. You had 1 repeat scan.
Yeah. Chris says, what if they never redeem the gift card? So Chris, I made a note to myself to follow up with them in a week to make sure that they got it. Now I have to figure out the most tactful way to do that. But I want to make sure that they get the thing that I'm sending them. So Ryan, how does that work with the business account?
If they never scan it, then you never pay for it.
And if they do I get notified?
Yeah, when they scan it, I don't think you get notified if they actually spend it.
But if they scan the QR code, just like any other QR code, that's great. I hadn't really thought that through.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of them don't get redeemed, guys.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys have received gift cards from us from Wake Up Real Estate. You haven't redeemed them.
But so yes. I am thinking that my next top 150 mailer in October, and I'm putting this out there so the Wake Up Real Estate Show listeners can hold me to this. I think I'm going to send a gift card so that they can get a Starbucks gift card to get a pumpkin spice latte or something, and kind of play that up. I'm not a big pumpkin spice latte guy, but I know that it's pretty popular, especially in warmer or colder climates.
Have you ever tried the bribe, like I'll hook you up with a, let's say, $20 or $50 gift card if you schedule a chat about the value of your house, about listing your house on Calendly? Have you ever sent that yet?
I have not tried that. I should.
Yeah, we can. I'll pay for a small sample of that. It's that just I want to see if that proves out.
Okay.
And it's just if you're and it would be good for you because you have these lists that have received multiple pieces of mail from you so far.
Right.
So maybe the timing on that for you is around November, December. If you're thinking about selling in a new year and want to know how much you get, schedule with me, and I'll buy you lunch, something like that.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good call. A good call.
Yeah.
Good
You had some other tech tips, right?
Yeah. So I have. I wanted to revisit something that we were talking about last week, which is the idea of the Facebook Messenger inbox as a CRM. And we talked about it a little last week, but as I have been doing that, I've realized that there is a ton of functionality in here, a ton. Okay. For example, it will pull some of their profile data right here on the right-hand side. Okay. I can label them all kinds of different things. I can schedule appointments, which I already have for Tasha here because she scheduled an appointment. So I'm going to tie in a number of different things. Last week, I launched a sponsored message, and it was are you still interested in buying your dream home here in Central PA this fall? That was the message that went out. I don't know if she got this as well. But I got lots of engagement and replies, and I think 3 appointments from that for $5.22. Okay. I launched a new sponsored message this morning and already have, I don't even know, 8, 10, 12, 15 replies. Now I'm paying for those replies. Okay. So the idea of a sponsored message, okay, just big picture. The idea of a sponsored message is identical to the idea of Texting Tuesday. You are blasting a message to texters. This sponsored message is being blasted to contacts that are in your Facebook Messenger inbox, right? That they responded to something. Since this morning, I launched this at 6 or 5:30. I've spent $3 and have 11 messages. Now, half of them have said that they're not interested right now, just like Chris Snader here. Okay. Which is fine. And when that happens, all I'm doing, I'm not ignoring those, right? I want to acknowledge that I'm not just some somebody with commission sales breath. Got it. Thanks, Chris. If when that changes, we'd love to help you. Have a great weekend. Okay, bada bing. Very simple. Okay, and I already said that to Tracy, and Tracy said you too. Okay, and already from this morning, I have 2 appointments scheduled. One with Dwayne and one with Tasha. One at 4:30 today, and one at 5. Another tech tip is when that happens, right here, if you're on your laptop, you can create an appointment. Okay, so if Tracy wanted to schedule an appointment, she doesn't. You can create it right here. Okay, and I don't know what it looks like on their end, but at least it creates another layer of commitment and sort of locking them into the the fact that they're going to answer their phone at that time. And also on you can do it on the app on your phone as well. So you can schedule the appointment on the app on your phone as well. Now, one thing that I'm still trying to figure out the best way to handle is I have gotten a few people who have not been happy about getting these sponsored messages.
I saw the one guy was a broker.
Oh, one guy was a broker?
Yeah, it was funny. He was upset with you for doing mortgage and real estate at the same time.
Oh, yeah, and he said that I wasn't licensed, even though the ad that he replied to literally had both of my licenses and all the required disclosing information. Regardless, there was one that was cursing and just very not very nice, saying mean things about my mother, etc. this morning. So I'm trying to figure out how to block those so that they don't get the sponsored messages.
Don't you have his profile?
Yeah, but I guess
I'm in Central PA. Let's go have some fun.
Oh,
let's go find him. Talk about your mom.
Yeah. Well, and we mentioned this last week, but speaking of profile, like it pulls in a little bit of profile details. In this case, Tracy has no public information available, which is fine. But you can also click over to their profile. And sometimes, even if they have it sort of private, for whatever reason, sometimes maybe given certain posts, they edit it. So you can at least see some pictures and I don't know if we've got any mutual friends, Tracy and I, but anyway, the functionality here, the more I use it, the more I realize that how many things you can do with it, and I'm getting more and more excited about using it. And the thing that I am most excited about is continuing to use the sponsored message functionality and making sure that every week that I do that, or every other week, or maybe I end up only doing it once a month, it's the sponsored message is going to more people. It's I'm going to have more people in my inbox receiving that sponsored message next week or 2 weeks from now than this week. And some things that I'm going to test with the sponsored message is A, different calls to action, right? Just like Texting Tuesday. But B, you can do text, or you can do text plus an image. What I haven't figured out is if you can do text plus a video. And if you can't, I may test doing like a BombBomb video or something like that, and having that link in the text, right? Interested in blank, check out this short video, whatever it is. So lots of I don't know. I'm really excited about that, and we're trying to figure out how to get it linked up so that when these people reply, their information actually goes into our CRM as well, which makes it even more powerful and maybe convenient to be following up and following through with those folks. Mark is on the same page with me. The pumpkin latte, I just don't get it. I'm sorry. I'm just not a pumpkin spice latte guy. For some people, it's like, it makes their season. Not me.
I'll take a black coffee, please, so that I don't hold up the line.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Anything else, Ryan?
No.
Good.
No.
So tomorrow is Follow-Up Friday, and what I want to do for Follow-Up Friday, among other things, we'll probably have a couple of things. I have a property that just sold on Tuesday. And what I want to do is we'll demo the justlisted.justsold.com. But for several reasons for this one, I think I want to do a custom because I by far set a record in the neighborhood for sale price. So or we can, Ryan and I, you and I will see what we can customize and maybe how to fit that inside. But regardless, that is that's my follow-up Friday idea. I've got to do it anyway. Let's turn it into some content. Everybody can follow along. And hopefully I can get some more business in that neighborhood. Yeah, pick up some listings for the fall here. All right. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. We are coming in on slowly moving towards 1,000 subscribers. We'll come up with something fun to give away to our 1,000th subscriber. If you have mortgage or financing related questions or needs, you can text BBS to 866. I'm going to learn the number. 866-973-4009, or just reach out to me. And if you'd like some social graphics or flyers around some of the programs that you hear us talking about or have talked about in the past, just shoot me an email or a text message. I'll put that together for you. Otherwise, we'll see you all here tomorrow for follow-up Friday. Same place, same time.
See you guys. Thanks, Josh.